Good morning, good morning. Let's not waste any time today. So, this is the Ultimate Living Origin Form Pokédex, and if you are tuning in for the first time, welcome. We are in the middle of trying to catch all the shinies available in Viridian Forest, and to be as efficient with time and resources as possible, I'm using RNG manipulation to get these shinies. And so I have caught 2 Caterpie and I've caught a Weedle. So we still have 2 more Caterpie that will eventually be Butterfree. One for the male form and female form of Caterpie, as you can see. And then we also need 2 more members of the Beedrill line. So the first step is going to be finding the shiny spread in Pokefinder. And the only way to do that is to start with an initial seed. So I'm going to take a seed corresponding with my in-game settings, stereo LNR. I'm going to plug that into my Pokefinder tab. And already, look, we have a result that's pretty close. It's another Weedle, so we do need this one. And great. So that was probably the fastest this has ever happened. So now that we have that spread, this is a Brave male Weedle, 1700 away. So a little over 30-second wait. What we'll do is we will open up this program called the 10 lines, and we will copy that spread into this program to then deduce what our timing is for our timer. Our timing for our timer. Very well said on my part. So let's go ahead and plug all this information in real quick. It is Brave, and I can't read. It's up there, that's why. And the stats are as follows. 16, 13, 16. Three 19-1. And we have a couple different targets here. They're both basically the same, but I will be going for the one that's a little bit closer. And it looks like this is not the closer one. So we'll check this one. Yeah, this is the one we were looking for. 1753, right? Yes. So I just need to select the option that matches my in-game settings, stereo LNR, seed button A, extra button none. And this number right here will be the timing for my seed. Fire Red and Leaf Green RNG has a double frame perfect timing. You have to hit the right seed, and then you have to hit the right frame advance after said seed. So double frame perfect. I have both of those plugged into my timer here. And now the only thing to do is to reset and see if I can actually hit this shiny. So that was my seed. If I hit the button at the correct time, then I should be on the correct one. And then as soon as the timer ends, I will hit Sweet Scent and hopefully get the shiny I'm looking for. Probably felt a little late on that button press, so let's see. Yep, so that's a regular Weedle. So what we'll do now, since we didn't get it, is we'll go ahead and catch it, check its stats, and see how far off I was. I could have been off on the initial seed, I could have been off on the advances. Hard to say which one, without doing a little investigation first. So we have a female Weedle that is sassy. And its stats are 5, 19, 8, 9, 7, 7, 9. And it looks like I was on seed, and I was 2 frames late, so I was correct when I said that it felt a little late. So, that's a good sign. If I'm consistent with my seed, then it's a lot easier to make adjustments for the next part. So we'll just go again and again until I get it. I don't think I really need to check any other failures, unless, of course, I don't get it for a while, then I might see what's going on. That seed press felt a little bit late to me, but I've definitely been wrong before. And I certainly was wrong, because that was on seed. All right. We are starting at a very good pace here. What was that, my second attempt or my third attempt overall? So we are already cooking this morning. Because I have a limited supply of Pokeballs at present, I'm really going to make sure that I have the best chance catching here, using my sleep powder. Naturally. So we now have the Weedle line almost complete. After one more Weedle or Kakuna, then we will only be looking for at least one male and at least one female Caterpie, I should say. Because the gender variant of Butterfree, we need at least one female. But so far we have caught 4 shiny worms in the last 24 hours. And just like that, we are going to go back into the seed searching mode. Just keep going on down the line there. New seed. Plug it in. Do we have another close shiny spread? Actually, we do. This is like 2,000 frames away, is not that much longer than what we just did. So I'm going to take it. I think this is a, you know, very, very nice target here. So what I'll do is, once again, I will plug this information into Pokefinder and we'll go from there. So this is a Metapod. This will be contributing towards the Caterpie line. So let's go back to the 10 lines. Plug all this information back in once again. And this will be nice because I actually like Shiny Metapod. We haven't seen one yet. $11,923. And 10,17,8. That's our guy. Stereo LRC button A, extra button none. That is this guy right here. $2010. What a year that was. All right. Once again, nothing left to do but reset and get ourselves a shiny Metapod. So I'll give it a couple attempts here before I check anything. Because I think my calibration's pretty solid. So most of the time, if I am going to miss my target, I'll either be off on the initial seed by 1, I'm tending to hit early, maybe I'll be late sometimes. And then of course the advances on the second half, you can also be 1 or 2 off between attempts pretty easily, so I feel like I'm already kind of in the pocket. Especially after that very quick shiny to start off. All right, one more try. If I don't get it, I'll see what's going on. All right, we'll see who you are. Bashful little guy. And it looks like I was 1 seed early and 1 frame late. Good to know. Good morning. That was probably late. I had to guess. Yep. Almost certainly late. Mm-hmm. I wonder if you're the same. Let me check real quick. If you're the same Weedle that I just caught, then no big, I guess. Are you bashful? Yep, you are the same one. So I was 1 seed early again and 2 frames late, if I remember correctly. Actually, it's right here. Yeah, 1 frame late, so if I was on seed, I probably would have been 2. I need to hit the button a little bit more aggressively at the end. It's the moral of the story. All right, that one was a little bit more aggressive. Is it enough? Nope. Let's check you just real quick. If I was on seed, I would guess that I'm 1 frame late here. It's just a hunch. I was on seed, and I was 1 early. So I was too aggressive. That's also good to know. And unfortunately, a big part of this whole RNG manipulation thing is oftentimes you will be dancing around your target, being 1 frame off here, 1 frame off there, and you just gotta run it back, run it again, over and over and over. Oh yeah, no worries. I think we're all trying to wake up anyway. No need to start at a sprint. Yeah, you maintain your focus, just like I have to stay dialed in here to hit my targets. You don't miss any of your droplets. Any of your pipetting. I am hitting different spreads, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, except eventually I'm going to accidentally or intentionally hit my target. It's just bound to happen. And that is another spread that is a little bit different. So I'm wandering all over the place, it seems. Alright, I'll check that one. Have I hit a female Weedle before? Probably. It's probably not on the correct seed. But let's see. It's Bashful. Pretty sure I know who you are. Oh yeah, we know you. One seed early, one frame late. I think at some point I may need to recalibrate my seed timing because I'm 100% skewing earlier rather than later. I don't feel like I've gotten a result that's been late in a while. I'm also not checking everything, so it could be a lot of the times I'm late, I'm just not checking it. But it does usually tend to skew earlier rather than later. Oh, excuse me. Oh, dang. That threw me off, the sneeze. Yeah, it wasn't going to be it anyway. That's how I like to rationalize that. Now that was probably early on the seed, but let's see exactly. Because I do think it is probably time for a recalibration there. Yeah, I can almost guarantee this is either 1 or 2 seeds early. Let's see exactly what it is. Wow. That is 3 seeds early. And because of that, I probably was also early on the frames as well. So, what I could do is I could put this in and make that my new calibration for my seed. I think I'm going to do that. Oop, don't want to do that. There we go. So I'm going to put hit. That's what I hit. Update. Now my seed calibration is very different. Or at least compared to how it's been. Hopefully this adjustment will make it more consistent. All right, let's see if we were on seed or not. I think this might be the 1 frame early on seed, which if that's the case, then we're in pretty good shape. Or maybe not. I don't think I've hit careful before. One late. Yeah, so we definitely overcorrected just a little bit, so I'm going to put that in here. And now I think that's going to be the perfect calibration moving forward. And if I had to guess, I would say this one's probably early on the advances. So let's give it another shot. This Metapod is really fighting us. I had the same issue with one of the Weedle last night. And is it a coincidence that both of the elusive targets have had a serious nature? They want to ruin all the fun? I don't know. But one way or another, we will most certainly get this boy, this Metapod. Pika-P. Alright, I guess I'll figure out who you are. One seed late again. It looks like a few frames late on the advances. Very interesting. We'll try out this calibration a couple more times for the seed. But if I'm skewing consistently late now, then I do need to make an adjustment one more back, and then I think we'll be in the perfect spot. But we'll see. All right, both of those felt solid. But they did not amount to solid, so I will check you real quick. I might make some more adjustments. I was late on the seed again. Actually, I was too late on the seed. So definitely going to update that back one again. Did have a feeling that was just a little bit late on the seed once again. All right. That A press on the advances felt really good. So I'm going to check this, and whatever I hit for that, I'm going to calibrate. You're serious. I was on seed. And 1 frame late. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to put. You normally shouldn't calibrate for 1 frame late. But screw that. I'm going to do it. You can't stop me. Because, I mean, that A press at the end, that was just like chef's kiss. It's the gold standard of pressing the A button. That one also felt good. Can I finally get... No. Not the right Metapod. Judging by my luck, that was probably one early on seed. Wow. Did not expect that one to be it. Very cool. We finally broke our drought there. Thank goodness. And this will take a little bit of time to get you down below half health. But the hard part's over. We finally have the Pokemon on screen. Also, can you imagine speed tying a Metapod? What's that like, Mankey? Must be terrible. Alright, you have a higher catch rate, so I'm definitely putting you to sleep. And let's hope you don't use up a lot of my Pokeballs. I have at least 2 more targets after you. And if I do run into a Pikachu spread that's close by, I'll get one of those as well. And I guess you can just miss Sleep Powder as many times as you want, Bulbasaur. That's cool. 3 misses in a row. Can we get 4? 4 misses in a row. Alright, here goes nothing. Very cool. So that leaves us with one more Caterpie that we need, or Metapod. And it just has to be female, so that it evolves into the right form. I'm really happy that we finally have that Metapod. Spent a lot of time on that. But I think it evens out in the end, right? Because I got the Weedle almost immediately. Alright, y'all. I need one more female Caterpie or Metapod, and I need one more member of the Beedrill line, be that a Kakuna or a Weedle. And then, of course, if a Pikachu does come up through the process, I will most certainly get one of those as well. But they're much more available in the power plant, so there's no point in searching too hard for them here. $2,600. A Caterpie that is male, so we cannot do anything with you. It's a female Metapod, 4,000. That's a decent weight. I may have to go back to it if I don't find anything soon. Mental note 231, line 231. Okay, this is a Weedle at 2,900, which I think is probably worth it. So we can go ahead and do this one. You are a calm male, 28, 27, 12. This is GBA. I am playing on a DS with a capture card. And let me... 28, 27, 12. $24, 19, 6. That's our guy. Stereo, L and R. Where are you? That's weird. There's no option for stereo L and R. Did I hit the right... put in the right information? PID 692B. Yep, that's the right guy. Very weird. Huh. I got it from the right column, right? This is the right column, stereo LR. Very strange. Well, what to do about this? The timings are the same. I guess I can just, here, I'll, looks like the only... No, these are all... The only way to make it work with these settings without holding a button or anything is to change it to the help option. Which is very weird. But oh well. It is what it is, I guess. All right. Well, let's see if we can get this thing. The last member of the Weedle line. Am I transferring them up? I am indeed. The whole mission behind this project of mine is to amass an entire complete living dex in Pokemon Home at the end of the day. Oh yeah, 40 seconds. This is a much longer wait. Much, much longer. I will adjust this real quick, but I'm still kind of... I don't really understand why I didn't have the option for my settings. It's very strange. That's cool. I'm glad you think it's cool. I thought so too. Back to back? Nope. We'll give it another shot here before we calibrate. I just still can't. So this is, yeah, advances 2900. So weird. And these are the correct settings, yeah. The more and more that I do Fire Red and Leaf Green RNG, the more anomalies I encounter. Seems to be rife with unpredictability. The one thing I do know is that I need to be on it for this Weedle, because with this wait time, I can't be affording to draw it out too much. It's almost double the wait time as the previous. I wonder, that's not the same Pikachu, is it? But it is kind of weird that I hit 2 Pikachu in a row. All right, 1 seed early and on frame. So we are very much in the pocket, I would say. Always feels better when I'm on seed. Because, I don't know, order of operations. But really, it doesn't matter which one is off. As long as I get it. Please do not let this be another repeat of Metapod. Is all I have to say. Arceus, please. Kakuna. I wonder if the encounter odds for Kakuna and Metapod are slightly different in the different versions. Because obviously you can catch them both in Fire Red and Leaf Green. But I suspect that they swap the percentages a little bit. Because I barely see any Kakuna. Just 2 more shinies at minimum, and I can escape this forest. Music is definitely not getting old. I will say that. 100% is not getting old. Alright, we'll see what you are. Just to get a gauge of what's going on. One seed early and 1 frame early, so if I was on seed, I would have likely been on target. That's good news, for the most part. Don't know who you are, but who cares? Sheesh. You're the same, aren't you? I bet you are. I bet you are. 1 seed early, 1 frame early. If I am 1 seed early again here, I may calibrate one more time on the seed. And hopefully that will be a lot more consistent moving forward. Sometimes it's just hard to tell, though. If only I, as a human being, was exactly the same every day, every time I tried this. Boy, wouldn't that be convenient. All right, little bug. Two seeds early there, really? All right. We're definitely calibrating again, but I don't want to say I don't want to calibrate with 2 seeds. Here, let me just widen this real quick, because I don't want to do the math for how many advances that would be, or milliseconds that would be. Go 5,000. Anything that's like... Okay. I just want... What's the increment for 1 seed early? Is there no result where that's the case? Really nothing. Okay. Well, screw me then. Never mind. I'll just rip it, see what happens. Now that was late 2 frames. On the seed, anyway. What does the world come to? Up is down, down is up. I don't know anymore. Sheesh. This is tough. I'm hitting a serious block. Maybe it's because I tried to make changes in general. I haven't changed my calibration on the initial seed for much of the challenge, so that may be a variable that's adding some difficulty here. Where is Lonely? Hello? There we go. Okay, I was on seed, and I was 1 frame late, of course. Of course you're gonna do that to me. You're gonna do me like that? Oh, come on. You faked me out like that. Don't you fake me out like that. Alright. It's time to pull out the voodoo. The ancient magic. That's what I had to do last time. To summon the Weedle. shiny Weedle. Shiny Weedle. Shiny Weedle. It is a dud. It is not a shiny Weedle. It is just a Weedle. My magic failed me. We're 1 for 2 there. In terms of the voodoo. Is this going to be a full shiny living dex? It is. Full in every sense of the word. Every form, every gender variant, every normal, every shiny. It's all going to be there. The number that you see at the bottom of the Game Boy screen is the number of total Pokemon that I'm going to be obtaining in Generation 3, which includes Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. The normals, the shinies, and all the forms that are going to be relevant in the future. Goodness gracious. That's cool. Are you doing it on the Switch version? Oh, I've hit you before, haven't I? Maybe that wasn't this run, I don't know. Let's see. One seed early, and on frame. So I will calibrate this. One seed early. Most definitely. And we're doing it. You're doing it on GBA? Nice. It was a complete coincidence that when I was going through Fire Red and Leaf Green for this challenge, at the exact same time, the Switch version came out. So there's been a lot of confusion of which one I'm actually playing. Alright, this one feels pretty good. Can I get it? Apparently not. Seems like what's really been troubling me this morning is the seed calibration. I'm really kind of regretting changing anything there. And I think I've hit you before. You look familiar. Yeah, that's one early on the seed. A couple late on the advances there. Jacob, are you getting these shinies via RNG manipulation as well, or are you kind of more just soft resetting random encounters and such? By the Pokemon you can't get, you mean like version exclusives and Mew, of course? Damn. Yeah, there we go, yeah. Damn, damn, damn. One seed late, one frame late. So I've now hit one seed early, one frame early, one seed late, one frame late. Meaning, had I been shifted slightly earlier or later, then I would have gotten it. At least the good thing is, if I am one seed early and one seed late between attempts, then there is absolutely no justification in altering the calibration. That means that that's the window I want to be in. Lost connection there for a second. Weird. Oh yeah, did you do some personal seed farming? Yeah, I'm really glad that we have a pretty comprehensive list now. One of the reasons why I didn't really get into Fire Red and Leaf Green RNG until recently, because it was so tedious not having a large list of seeds available. You'd have to kind of figure it out on your own. And of course, the inconsistency of the Double Frame Perfect every time sure is fun. Good for you doing all 3 birds, though. Yeah, I remember when we were first kind of getting that together, RNG in these games. You're like, okay, well, you can figure out your seed through this big old process, and then basically I'm pretty sure the mindset was that you figure out what seed you most likely hit consistently and you stick with that seed. And then whatever's on that seed is what you have available. And so because of that, your options were a lot more limited. I mean, they were basically the same as Ruby and Sapphire, right? Because that situation, there's only one seed, one starting seed. So this was the same. You would find whatever seed you typically hit, lock in that timing, and then just go from there. Treat that as your default seed. If you ever off seed, then that's more of an anomaly. So yeah, this is much better, because now we can reliably move seed to seed, get a lot more interesting targets, especially ones that are closer. Come on, man. Really? Alright, I'm going to be checking these pretty consistently now, because I'm kind of pissed. I'm tilted. Just a little bit. Yeah, I'm 1 seed late now. Like, what's going on, man? Just need to be very aggressive with this button press. Alright, if that was late, I may need to calibrate again. Because I was on it. No question. Holy heck. I've 100% hit you before, I know that. I can almost guarantee I've hit you before. Yep. Alright, that's too... Oh my god. Okay. Too early. Or too late. How is that possible? How is that even... real life? That was almost certainly early. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it was viable. Bruh, if I have to see another regular Weedle. Another normal-ass Weedle. This is feeling like a low point. I don't know why it's getting to me so much right now, but just... I don't know. It's tough. Not wanting to be stuck in this forest, so close to being out. Feeling like you just don't have a good grasp on your timing anymore. I think that's 2 Kakunas in a row, the same Kakuna. One that I've hit many times before at this point. Yeah, I don't really know what has to give here. I think my seed is definitely less consistent than it has been in the past. So I don't know if I need to just change it back to the calibration that I had previously. I had to guess that one was probably late. And that button press was almost certainly late as well. Okay, that is funny. That is really funny. Getting the same Kakuna 3 times in a row. No, you don't see that every day. You definitely don't see that every day. Very few times have I hit the same Pokemon 3 times in a row. So I guess you have successfully gotten my attention, Kakuna. So that's on seed, and that's 1 frame late. Wait a minute. This entire time, I have hit on seed, 1 frame late, 3 times in a row. That's something. I'm going to calibrate. That is actually wild. I didn't even realize. I thought it was a seed issue, but no, I was on seed 3 times in a row. I was 1 frame late 3 times in a row. Bananas. And watch that be 1 frame early on seed. Not even going to check it. Just run it back. If I was off by 1 frame 3 times in a row, surely I could hit my target soon. Surely that is in the cards. You son of a kakuna. I'm pretty sure that one was at least 1 seed early. If I remember correctly. I'm starting to memorize all of these different spreads and where they are. That's when you know you're cooked. Thank goodness. Whew. Thank goodness indeed. Ooh. Mankey putting in work. Yeah, that was tough. All right, Weedle line is complete. Now, all we need left before we can leave Viridian is 1 female Caterpie or Metapod. All right, let's real quick change this back to... No, we want stereo and we want LNR. Save that. And I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. Be right back. All right, here's the deal. I'm going to declare from this moment on, we are out of the rut that I was in with that Metapod and Weedle. Just officially speaking. So let's just go ahead, find our last target, and land our last target. Sooner rather than later. I'm just going to say it. It's going to happen. I'm going to manifest it. And it will be so. That is a very close shiny Caterpie, but it is a male, unfortunately. And as we just saw, it really matters sometimes picking something with a longer wait. So I'll do a pretty thorough search. That's a female Weedle. Not quite what we want. Another Weedle. And this is a female Caterpie. 1100 away, that's perfect for what we are looking for. Nice fast resets. Yes, I need one more worm, and to be precise. I fell into a little bit of a rut this morning with a certain Metapod and a certain Weedle, so it took a lot of time. But I finally got them. And I have declared that the next few will not take as long. I'm making it known. That's what's going to happen. 4313. $322.12. Caterpie. Stereo LNR. A button none. Yeah, valid strategy. Get them first try. Have you tried getting good? Is that on the table? Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, this weight is perfect. What did I say? I declared it. Wow, didn't even get to take advantage of the short wait time. But I'm not complaining. Definitely not complaining. Oh wait, nope. Gotta put you to sleep first. That's how it's done, yeah. The moral of the story is always to lock in. You can do that. You'll be fine. All right. We're out of this forest. Probably for good. Get me the hell out of there. All right, let's just put all my Caterpies and my yada yadas together here. Yep. There we go. Alright, that is satisfying. I guess I'll keep Mankey in here, but I probably won't be able to use it to weaken the next route of Pokemon. But yeah, we are finally getting out of here. Let's play through a little bit more of the game. Get some levels on our Bulba. Oh, also add that. And add that. All bugs, well, not all the bugs, but most of the bugs are captured. And we're not getting you, so I think Spearow is on the horizon, and all the other Pokemon in the next couple routes. I think there's Sandshrew, Jigglypuff. There's a handful. Oh, wait, did I switch? I did not. Looks like Mankey's gonna get some levels. Or I can just let him die. Mankey, no! Alright. Gotta love the sand attack strat. And of course, you know, it's not like Tackle has decent accuracy to begin with. It's not like I can just hit that. Jesus. It's one sand attack. Alright, you definitely can't miss this. There you go. But let's see if you can hit Overgrow Vine Whip. Will that do something? It definitely does. Alright, let's see if you can, I mean, I'm sure you'll be fine. Oh, it evaded, huh? Does a lot. Am I still in Overgrow? I guess I am. Probably not now, though. Oh, I guess you double resist, don't you? Ratata. Kakuna Ratata. So much for that strategy. Sheesh. Oh my god. Ivysaur, please. Can you not? Damn, I'm still in red health too. It's annoying. And of course we have someone who resists my grass attacks. Okay. No hidden items, huh? I don't know where any of those are. Okay, Ivysaur. Putting in work. Yeah, you know what? These are just level 9. I can tackle these. Yeah, it's a 2-shot. There's no point. Oh, maybe not. Maybe there is a point. Yeah, I probably will go for that Magikarp, to be honest. Yeah, why don't we scam the scammer? It saves me a fishing RNG too. Yeah, is it because of all the NPCs in the building that make you miss your frame more often? Because that's probably one of the frustrating parts about it. A while ago, I saw Papa Hefe do that RNG, but he was using TGTV, so it was triple frame perfect, plus all the NPCs in there. It was absolute madness. It took him forever. So I'm definitely not going to be that ambitious with it. Oh, you don't even know where you are? That would be an issue, wouldn't it? $3 minutes for, perfect stats, you mean? Yeah, that's kind of clutch. Alright, Jigglypuff, I know your shenanigans. We're not going to let it slide. Whoops. Well, that's almost half. Makes sense to me. Yeah, definitely need that high HP flying if you're going to do anything with Gyarados. And again, what flying moves does Gyarados get in Gen 3 to begin with? Other than Hidden Power, I guess that's the only one, right? Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. So it's only HP flying or nothing. Which makes me almost think that a special Gyarados would be better. At least for Gen 3. Oh, it's a 125. I didn't actually realize it was that high. That's worth working around then. You're right. Because Hidden Power Flying, base 70 max plus stab bonus with that attack stat, that's actually usable, right? In a lot of cases. Yeah, the 60 special attack. Yeah, you're right. That's not gonna quite cut it. That's only going to make Gyarados in Gen 4 that much better. Gonna really feel the physical special split there. Alright, I'm gonna dump the rest of my money into more Pokeballs. I can only buy 7 more. Alright, this is Route 3, which means we have quite a few RNGs to do. We have the entire Nidoran female line. All 3 of those we need to capture. I'm pretty sure Spearow is on this route. So let me quickly pull up my little reference website here. Right, yes, so... and this is for... Leaf Green, not Fire Red. How do I switch that? Oh, it's just under here. Okay. Yeah. So we have the Nidoran female line at 14%. We have Jigglypuff, and we have Spearow. So that is 5 shinies to catch in total on this route. So let's not waste any more time, shall we? This is Route 3. And we're looking for quite a few things, so let's just leave it open-ended. $2,300, that's pretty good. And it's a Spearow, so we can go ahead and knock Spearow off the list. You are relaxed, 10, 12, 11. Stereo LR, this one is our target. And a decent weight here, but nothing extreme. And it's not even going to matter because you know what? I'm declaring it right now. I'm going to get 3 shinies in a row. I repeat, 3 shinies in a row. It'll be the first time I've done it. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen right here, right now. I declare it. Three shinies. 3, 3, 3. Damn. It is a Spearow, though. Oh, you know what? My calibration for the Sweet Scent's probably going to be different since I'm in a different environment. As I should have known. I should have known it was going to change. So the next one I will catch and calibrate with. So once again, it is not my fault. It's always the program's fault, the game's fault. It's never my fault. I'm always operating at 100%. So I don't expect this to be it, because I do need to calibrate again. Also, did I hit the same Spearow? I don't know if that was the same stats, but that would be pretty impressive. I hit the same Mon twice in a row. Just saying. I was on seed, and I was... It appears I was 6 frames late, which means I am really on it, you all, because I'm pretty sure 6 frames is the difference between forest and outside. So, that's crazy. What I will do is, I will make note of this. Wait, wild sweet scent outside... Yeah, I already have this calibrated, but let me see. Let me just see if this is the same calibration, because if it is, then I am really on point. If I say that's the one that I hit, I update. That's the exact same calibration that I had previously. So, I mean, I'm on it, you all. I just need to do that again, and I'll have the shiny right away. That is interesting. I do think that an Alola remake would be premature right after Wind and Waves, especially since it seems like Wind and Waves is going for that kind of like island vibe, coastal vibe anyway, so I don't know if they would do that immediately. Maybe it'd be like a Legends game. I do see that, potentially. Then that would be a good pairing, like directly after. Burb and fish. Burb, fish, puffball, and 3 poison rats. So that's quite the list of things. But yeah, I don't remember seeing the Z crystal in the trailer. It makes sense that it would be in there, because again, it kind of has a similar vibe to Alola. Nah. Of course, when I'm actually dialed in and ready, I don't land it. On the topic of Wind and Waves, though, I am pretty excited for it because it looks like an actual game, if you know what I mean. Graphically, it looks very pleasing, which is not something I've been able to say for a lot of the games, ever, really. As someone who is all about the aesthetic, the shinies, the different forms. Hello. Alright, I think the best approach here is to put you to sleep first, and switch you into my low-level Bulbasaur to hopefully weaken you a little bit, as to not risk KOing you. That is the strat. Excuse me. Very sneezy today. Ooh. Yeah, that's not gonna cut it, Chief. Alright, Mankey, good luck. Yeah, I'm all for them delaying the release. Hell, they can take a couple extra years if they want. That's fine by me. Yeah, now you gotta hold up your end of the bargain. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Alright, Mankey, thank you for your service. You did some good work in that forest, but we are no longer in need of your services. Spearow is now our go-to. Alright, Spearow is down. We're gonna need some rats and we're going to need a Jigglypuff. I would expect to find Jigglypuff a little bit later since it's only 10%. But the Nidorans are only slightly more common, so I guess it's anyone's guess. Also, 2 pretty close shiny frames. Or actually, that's not close. That's 13,000, not 1,300. So never mind. But yeah, Jigglypuff is a 10%er. So it will be tougher to find. These are all super close. Too close. There's a Jigglypuff at 9,000, but that's like a while. Don't know if I want to go for that. Jigglypuff at 6,000. Is that worth it? Is a 6,000 Jigglypuff worth it? 6,000's a while. Let me see. How long is that? That's like 6374. That is a minute and some change. So I will keep that one in mind. 269, line 269. That's a Nidoran at 6,000. And we have a Nidoran at 1,200. That's perfect. Okay, so what I'll do, these are like 10 apart exactly. So I actually think I will go for the Jigglypuff from the seed earlier. And then I just need to remember that this Nidoran is 10 away from that. 6,000. So this is over a minute per reset. But I'm in the groove right now. I feel like I can get it if I am focused. So let's see if I'm right. Kind of banking on being a little bit more consistent with this attempt here. So you are a quiet 28, 15, 31. $29, 24, 19. Stereo LNR, A, extra none. Yep, that's already in there. All right, no time to waste. Did I save? I'll save again. Why not? No harm in it. At least I don't think there's any harm. Did it end up being useful, Shargo? All right. As long as he doesn't move, we're fine. So yeah, this is a minute 40-second per rip. So I definitely want to be on top of things here. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. I mean, I could search for a lot longer to get a seed for Jigglypuff, but I think this is going to be the most efficient thing in the long run. We'll see in 40 seconds. All right. Yeah, this is going to be the most efficient thing because here's the deal. Once I get Jigglypuff out of the way, I can narrow the search results in Pokefinder for just Nidoran, because that's the only other encounter I'll need. And I already have one on deck, so after that one, I'll get 2 more. And so that seed finding process will be a little bit faster, a little bit more efficient. So in the end, I think it all works out. That is, of course, contingent on me landing this Jigglypuff relatively soon. And nothing is guaranteed, but I've been doing pretty well so far. Yeah. That's just what it is. Maybe it'll be 2 tries this time as well. I needed the warm-up and then... boom. And now we wait. That does sound reasonable, yeah. I would stick with that, especially if you've had a narrow range 2 times in a row. Alright, let's see who you are. I was on seed 1 frame late. Imagine. Imagine that. I just noticed the evolution line here in the party progressing on up there. And they are all shiny except the Bulbasaur. The Bulbasaur is normal, but the Ivysaur and Venusaur are both shiny. Feel good about this one. This one feels solid. Liar. You lied to me. That's good. So you have a general sense, and now it's just about execution. I know what that's like. In fact, that's where I've been the majority of this entire project. At least this Route 3 music is a lot more, I guess, entertaining than Viridian Forest. Or I feel like it's going to get much less old over time. What nickname are you going with? Damn. Alright, who's this punk-ass Pidgey? Keeps showing up on my screen. Mushu, that's actually very appropriate. Especially for a Gen 3 Gyarados where his bite is, let's just say, diminished. He doesn't have a lot backing up all the talk. That Intimidate. Ah, I see. This Pidgey is 1 seed early. And, well, that's weird. Something else is going on there with the advances, but it appears that I was 1 seed early those last 2 times. So I just need to tell myself, don't do that. Yeah, it's valid for a lot of reasons. But if you want to just break it down or boil it down to red snack, sure thing. Alright, I feel like that was the seed. I'm saying it. I declare that that was the right seed. Now, just gonna hit the frame. I'll give that to you, sure. You earned it. Alright, that one felt pretty good, but it could have been late. We'll see. Ah! That's not the same Spearow that's 1 late, is it? Maybe I wasn't on seed. Yeah, we'll see. Let's just keep ripping it. Still pretty good. Pretty solid. Aw, come on. Pidgey. Damn it. This is the same one that's 1 seed early and whatever majig. And all the other BS. Surprised that seed was early. Right, that seed was definitely not early. Oop. If that seed was early, then I don't know what to say about that. No words, speechless. I guess while I'm waiting here, I'm going to go ahead and scope out some other shiny frames for the Nidorans. I already have one lined up. Be nice if I could have a second one ready to go. $1,900, pretty good. Okay, so I got a couple now. Couple on deck. Okay, now this is just insulting. Who do you take me for? But also that is wild to me that that seed is early. Like maybe this is another level 7 Pidgey, but that is just not. That doesn't make any sense. Also, very funny that I hit that 3 times in a row now, right? Maybe just 2. Yes, it was the wrong burb, and I'm not even looking for a burb. I'm looking for a humanoid, spherical, something. I don't know what you would call that. I'll probably calibrate after that. Okay, let me write this down somewhere where I can remember. 279, 296. I mean, I could just copy the seeds. That would make more sense, right? Just confirm that's the right one there. That is not the right one. Well, which one was the right seed then? This looks right. Yeah, this one. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see now. So we want that seed for that. Then Yeah, that's the one. Excuse me. All right. Who are you? What are you doing here? If this is a seat early again, I swear. I swear I will do absolutely nothing. Okay, I was on seed, and I was... Interesting. Yeah, I was 4 frames early. Or I was 2 frames late. Wait, no, never mind. Because this is Spiro, so... So I was 2 frames late. Is that worth a calibration? It might be. Just because with this longer stretch, I think that it's kind of leaning more late. Yeah, I'm going to calibrate that. Alright, I'm going to keep looking for my final Nidoran spread. So that we can be extra efficient. Just knock these out one by one. $5,000, but that's... Oh. I bet I was going to be late there. Damn you, Pidgey. Damn you, Dinkelberg. That is 3,800. Still much later than I'd like. I'll keep that in mind. How about that? I'll tuck it over here somewhere. All right, let's lock in here. Aw, man. All right, let's see. Let's see what you are. If I had to guess, you're probably a little late on the advance, maybe even early on the seed. Wow, there are a lot of results that this could be, except filter that by species, please. Nothing. All wild methods. Okay, I was likely 1 seed early. One seed early and on frame, by the way. It seems like getting that early seed is a real sticking point for me. All right, let's find this last Nidoran. Another 6,000er. But I'm not going to take any long waits anymore. Not after this one. Because you're a 14% encounter. Surely there's going to be one semi-close by. There we go, 1,800. So we have our Nidoran spreads locked and loaded, ready to go. I don't know if there's anything else I can do in the meantime. And it's not going to matter anyway, because this is going to be the one, right? If I declare it to be so, it will be so. Get the hell out of here, Pidgey. I know you're not the exact same one. Alright, this will be my last try before I take a little bit of a break. I didn't like that seed press. Let's do that again. No use in waiting a minute and 40 seconds when you know you're likely not going to get it. Oh, geez. Okay. I'm psyching myself out because I know this is the last one I'm going to do for a bit. All right, that one felt better. No guarantees. But it did feel better. Something else that I'm realizing, too, is that I actually probably need to catch 2 Jigglypuff here, don't I? For the evolution. Because I know there's no wild Wigglytuff. I'm going to look into that. And if that's the case, then I will need to search for one more. Gen 3. Yeah. In Kanto, Route 3 is the only place you can get it. So I will need to get 2, unfortunately. So I guess it's not the biggest deal in the world. I can go ahead and search for that ahead of time as well. And preferably look for one that is not a super long wait. So I can go ahead and get started on that now. Just reset this. Yep. Go back to 279. This one. Yep. Change this to Jiggly. Yeah, and we'll go from there. After this, That felt good. Felt solid. Fucking hell, Pidgey. Get the hell out of here. Alright, this... What is this? Is this, Let's just see what this is, because I feel like I've been hitting this a lot. Okay, it is on seed, 1 frame early. That's ridiculous. I've been on seed. I've been 1 frame early multiple times. Unfortunately, though, I will have to call it for now. But I will be coming back this afternoon. I think the plan is 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. So, if you would like to see me catch this Jigglypuff, as well as another Jigglypuff and 3 Nidorans in quick succession, please stop by later this afternoon. Thanks to everybody tuning in for this half here, and I will see you very shortly.